Hey everybody, I'm Sarah, the Real Simple Mama, and this is going to be a video tour of the Texas State Aquarium. This is an aquarium that is in Corpus Christi, Texas. If you're looking at Texas, it's down on the southeast side. It is in the North Beach area of Corpus Christi, right underneath the bridge. And I'll be giving you a parent's perspective of the Texas State Aquarium. Close by, you can see there's the Lexington. This is an aquarium where you can either buy day tickets or you can get a membership. The website is right here. We are members. We have been members for the last few years, even though we live in the San Antonio area and we can only make it down here a few times a year. Just because of conservation efforts and essentially what they're doing with your money for you to buy a membership. One thing I love about the Texas State Aquarium is they are always adding things. There is now a gigantic splash pad. You can see it's here towards the front, but you do have to access it through the main entrance. You're looking at the entrance is over on this side. The exit is actually over there. As far as parking, since we're here, there's a parking lot here in the front. There's also parking that's under the bridge there, where you can park towards the t-shirt shops and the restaurants that are down that way. There are features that are indoors and outdoors. Most of the aquarium is indoors. It is something I will tell you, especially if you've got either older kids who can walk or younger kids, but you have a stroller. It's easily doable in one day. It has multiple levels, including an observation deck up at the top, as well as some other stuff where you can look down into the fish tanks from up above. They do have dolphin shows here, so check the times because you'll want to go out. They get very crowded. We've got a showing we're going to go to at 3 o'clock. So we set an alarm for 2:15 that gets that crowded. But none of the additional shows or the movies that they have inside in the air conditioning, none of that stuff costs extra. It's all included with your membership with your day pass. There is a restaurant that is outdoors out on the bottom level. There's also a conservatory area and an aviary for injured birds like pelicans and bald eagles because they do conservation here as well. There are multiple touch tanks. There are touch tanks, I believe there's at least one, there might be 2 tanks where you can touch different sharks and stingrays. You can look at the mermaid's purses, which is how some sharks lay their eggs. Then there's another touch tank where you can touch and pet things like starfish, urchins, and hermit crabs. Of course, there are employees around who are teaching you and helping you teach your kids how to safely touch the animals, and yes, there's hand sanitizer everywhere. So this is going to be just a montage of a couple of different things throughout the aquarium. The facility is beautiful. It is always very clean, and we love supporting things like this. They do not do bag checks, so you can bring in food, drinks, snacks. I would advise, obviously, no alcohol and no glass. But we're gonna go in and I will show you the highlights of the Texas State Aquarium. And we're back. We're right inside the main doors. You've either bought your tickets at the outside ticket window, or if you're a member, you just come up the ramp and show your membership card. They scan it and then you're good to go. There's lots of photo opportunities outside, different kinds of statues. There's an otter fountain right out there where you can see people gathering. As soon as you come in, there's the Caribbean journey that has fish from that part of the world, but there's also turtles, there's birds, there's sloths, and you're walking essentially, not necessarily in an aviary, but you're walking around in an environment where you are immersed in with the animals. So it's not like a zoo where, okay, here's the cage that has the sloths, and here's the cage that has the parrots. They're all around you. Their wings are clipped. There are always lots of people there. There is a flamingo feeding upstairs. And as you can see, there's an escalator as well as an elevator for you to get up there. That's also the area where you can go all the way up to the observation deck. And you can see the boats coming in. You can see the tankers. It's a nice quiet area if you need to breastfeed a child who needs to go to sleep. Hint, hint. There's family bathrooms up there. It's just a nice quiet area. We usually go up there to get out of the sun and to eat our snack. Around here, right by the main entrance, there's also the gift shop. There is a Starbucks because why not? There's bathrooms all over the place. And then this area that we like to go into because we're Texans, this is the Gulf of Mexico exhibit. And as you walk in, it's designed, of course, for conservation, but also for education. So you can get really close to everything. Just like a zoo, they'll have signs showing you what's in there. There are interactive screens in English and in Spanish. But you feel very close to everything. Some of the areas, I'll be honest, if you've got little kids who are sensitive to smell, it is going to smell in here. It smells like salt water, it smells like birds. It's not a strong, bad smell, but there is a smell. There's some small alligators alligators there. And there's all different kinds of waterfowl here also. Excuse me. It's the first touch tank. There's multiple tanks here. Just touch with one finger, and there's always employees around helping you and your kids be safe. And then there's hand sanitizer on the wall. You want to pet something? Would you like to pet something else? There's urchins in here, hermit crabs, starfish. There they go. This is one of my favorite tanks. And this is in the Gulf of Mexico exhibit. So these are animals that are found out in the waters outside Texas. But there's tuna in here, and there's nurse sharks. There's a barracuda, there's a sea turtle. This tank is absolutely huge, and it is so awesome. One of my favorite spots in the whole aquarium. Another thing that's nice about this place is they do observation from different perspectives. So you can see this tank here all along in this long wall of glass. Ooh, look, isn't she gorgeous? Oh, excuse me. But then there's also another view on another wall over there. This is not one of the tanks that you can go up into the third level and see, but there are a lot of the larger tanks, the larger exhibits, so if you go up into that Caribbean journey I showed you at the beginning, then you're actually up above the tank and you can look down. The employees here, the divers, will come and do the tank cleaning, they'll do the feedings during open hours a lot of the time, so you can let your kids see the scuba gear. But sharks are one of my favorite animals, and they have lots of shark conservation and shark education stuff here. I know it's dark, but here's the shark section where we talk about tagging and releasing sharks. There's a really cool photo op with a gigantic jaw right there. Again, I apologize that it's dark. And then here's the shark touch tank. If you haven't been to the Texas State Aquarium in a few years, this used to be outside in the lower level, now it is indoors. But it is bamboo sharks and a couple of other small breeds of sharks. And then they have the infertile mermaids purses and some of the shark eggs in there. Now we are outdoors. There is a jellyfish and octopus section, including where you get to touch the moon jellies, but everything in there is extremely dark. So I apologize, the video did not come out. But we came down the steps and now we are down here on the bottom level. This faces the Gulf. The area out there that you see with plants is actually, it's the property of the aquarium, but you can't go out there. It's more of a little conservatory area for all of the marine birds and the other wildlife in the area. You can see the Lexington right there. That is a museum that's always here. But right here, under all of the umbrellas, is another touch tank that is different kinds of stingrays. They have had their stingers clipped. They continue to grow like fingernails, so technically they could still sting your kids, but there are all kinds of people there. At all times, the employees are there to help show you how to touch them safely. And then right over here, that stand, at certain times of the day, just like the dolphin shows, just like some of the movies and the other events that are going on, they will do stingray feeding. And it is $5 for a tray of fish. You can pay by cash or by card. And then they explain how to do it. They explain how to safely touch the animals. There are employees all over the place helping to watch your kids. There are also, the way this is built, there are areas where it's easy for your kids to step up, like a little ramp or a little step that they can be on. Here comes the employee now that's got the microphone. So they'll do the demo. And then we're going to get to feed some stingrays. We've gotten to pet them before, we've never gotten to feed them, so this is going to be cool.
You better get down.
Across. This is the ship channel right here going under the bridge. So you can sit here and watch the tankers and stuff come in. You can see the dolphins out playing in the wake. So these are the three kinds of rays that you'll get to see. I have seen these live out in the Gulf, particularly that stingray.
I'll hold it.
They're there. There's a cow nose right there.
Thank you so much.
A couple of friendly reminders. Please make sure that we're only using a very gentle 2-finger touch on the backs of the stingrays only. We want to make sure that we are not splashing the water. This will scare the rays away from you, not make them come towards you. If we're going to be up on the rock, let's please make sure we are flat on our stomachs. That way we don't accidentally fall in. And last but not least, make sure that we're grabbing some hand sanitizer after you're touching or feeding the rays today. It's going to be located in the boxes underneath the TV poles. There's 2 on each side of the exhibit. All right, so moving on how to feed the stingrays. Has anyone ever done that before? A couple of people? All right. Well, if you haven't done it, or if you have, it's a lot of fun, so I highly encourage everyone to try it today. Now, I do want to warn y'all, there are some blackbirds that are really smart and have learned that whenever the mic comes on, there's a show that's going to happen where people have food. So there's one hanging out right up here, and he will try to steal your fish.
Oh, look at that.
And we do have a limited amount of fish, so be very careful if you do have that fish. Fold your trays over, that way the fish or the birds can't steal it. And then whenever you're getting your fish into the water, move kind of quickly. Again, that way the birds can't get that piece of fish. All right, so there are a couple of easy steps that we want y'all to follow, so that way y'all can have the easiest time feeding the stingrays.
We're out at the observation deck. It is still part of the Texas State Aquarium. We saw the otters sleeping. We went and saw the sea turtle show. Like a lot of the other tanks and exhibits here, you can see it from different perspectives. So right up here is the Tortuga area, the turtle area, where there are 5 sea turtles of various species who have basically been deemed unreleasable back into the wild. So they're going to live here. And they did, again, a little educational lesson where they fed them and they talked about them and things like that. Then we went over and saw the alligator. There's a bald eagle here. We're going to go to the bird show in a little bit, which you've actually never done. And now we're out here on the observation deck. Of course, everything that we're seeing out here is wild, including the wild tour boat that you see. But like everything else, it's giving you ideas for conservation, how you can help with saving the species that are endangered and just taking better care of our world. We saw some wild turtles out here. There's wild dolphins out playing in the wake of the boats that are going by. And then, you can't see it super well from here, but there is an observation deck up at the top level that's up and part of the Caribbean journey. Another thing that's nice about this place is there are bathrooms with changing tables everywhere, and there's lots of benches and seating just randomly through the exhibits where you can kind of just sit quietly if you need to breastfeed, if you need to change a diaper, if you have a kid having a meltdown. Everything has ramps and is stroller friendly, and all of the things that we've mentioned is all included in the price of a ticket. So you don't pay extra to go see the dolphin show, you don't pay extra to do anything, except of course if you want to buy food or if you want to go to the gift shop, but everything else is included. We're just hanging out here, looking at the fish and watching the Lexington. And we just came up the escalator and now we're in the other part of the Caribbean journey. Let's go, come on. This area is awesome. Tons of natural life. The birds have their wings clipped, but there's things like flamingo feeding. There's bats. There's parrots, there's sloths, all kinds of cool stuff. It is absolutely gorgeous up here. My daughter hanging out with Amos. He's a white pelican who got 2 gunshot wounds to his wings. And they did 3 surgeries on him, and he is unreleasable because he can no longer fly. So he'll live here for life. He's just hanging out. But, I mean, this whole place is gorgeous. Very open and very light. I haven't seen the sloths yet, but there are 2 sloths that are here. And then another thing that's cool about this floor is there's one of the main shark tanks, but now we're just in a different perspective. And there are viewing ports in the floor up here so you can see down into a couple of the fish tanks. This is all about the Caribbean, and it is so light and so beautiful here. There is going to be a lot more reverb and echo here, so it's a little bit louder zone. Technically it's the 2nd floor, but it does have a separate set of elevators. So, and then there's also animal demonstrations going on. She's holding a boa constrictor over there. And here's another one of the tanks. With all kinds of cool stuff.
Like the